What's up, it's your boy, I know Mercy the Mad Hatter, here today to talk about something that's, it's actually a couple days old, but I've been dealing with some family stuff. Nothing bad, just, just family stuff, so I didn't really have a lot of time to talk about it until now. But Darksiders 3 just released a couple new videos through IGN, and this game is definitely looking amazing so far. It's exactly what I thought it would be from the alpha footage we got last year, and that weird little update we got a couple months ago. It's where it was just like a minute of Fury walking through this hell area and just fighting people, but no other information was provided. It's just like, I guess it was just some random updates, like, okay, this is what we got so far. Does it look cool? And yeah, it looked cool and everything like that, but I was still curious why they hadn't been showing any of Fury's magical abilities or anything like that. Like I gotta get why they didn't show anything from the alpha, because that would be like extra particles and particle effects and stuff like that, and it probably wouldn't look as good. So just sticking with the melee stuff and everything like that was probably the best way to go. But like at this point, they had the effects on her whip, so whatever. But with this new update that was just released a few days ago, we actually do get a lot more of what the game is gonna be like, and what combat is gonna be like and everything. And we finally fucking got to see some of Fury's magic, and it actually looks pretty cool. Apparently Fury is actually going to be able to, I guess, go into different modes. Like what we've seen so far is the fact that she gets this fiery aura and can unleash like different types of fire magic, and she can walk through lava and stuff like that. And like that's actually a pretty cool idea, and it opens a lot of different traversal elements. There are different things that are blocking her path, but if she's in this fiery aura mode or whatever, she can actually produce enough flame to like burn certain obstacles away. So there's that, and I imagine that there's gonna be other like elemental auras that she can unlock and use, like ice, water, smoke, earth, whatever. Smoke, not smoke. I don't know. Air, fucking whatever. Like there's electricity. There's gonna be a bunch of different stuff you can do with this. I really hope they don't just stick with the RPG trilogy of fire, ice, and lightning, because that gets boring after a while, let's be real. But, and I think it would be actually kind of good if they branched out into other types of auras, or, I don't know, like a dark aura, or a light aura, or poison, or, shit like that. Like, be creative with this. But yeah, like there's gonna be, but like with the different auras, there could be different environmental puzzles that you can use them for. Like in Super Mario Galaxy, when you get the ice flower, you can actually freeze water while you're walking on it. So like that could be a thing you can do. It's like there's a bunch of different stuff that you can do with this whole aura idea, or whatever the hell it's being called. I'm just calling it aura. I don't actually know what the fuck this stuff is called. But in addition to the traversal stuff, it also gives you different attack options, so you can do different spells and attacks and stuff like that. And it really does it. And with this, it really does feel like Fury is a mage. Like she's always been talked about as a mage, and with this, it actually feels like that's what she is. So like that's great. That's great, and that was awesome and everything like that. But they also showed a little bit of gameplay, and that was actually kind of boring. But I get it. Like this is the exploration, puzzle solving aspect of the game, which it's still there. It's good that it's still there. Honestly, it didn't look as good as Darksiders 2, but no, it didn't have any of the platforming that Darksiders 2 had or anything like that. But this might actually be going more back to Darksiders 1, which again I never played, so I don't really know how to contextualize this a little bit. It does seem like they're going in terms of level progression and everything like that. It does seem like they're going back to Darksiders 1, because in Darksiders 2 you had you collected gold and armor and weapon pieces from different enemies and stuff like that. It was very much like a dungeon crawler or and stuff like that. And like, as much as I did love Darksiders 2, I honestly kind of prefer this. Like, I'm really not much of a loot whore when it comes to RPGs and stuff like that. So like, I've never been that big into having like a bunch of different armor and weapons and stuff like that. And you can like, I usually like to stick with one or two pieces of armor or weapons when I'm playing through an RPG or something like that. Like, I'm just boring like that. So like, for me with RPGs, it has to be like a good balance between almost no armor and you're just stuck with this one piece of crap for like several hours of the game, and getting new pieces of armor every 5 minutes. So the fact that they're getting rid of the loot and armor systems from Darksiders 2, I'm actually really cool with. And it sounds like they're going back to the whole, you gather souls for experience points and shit like that, and you, like, I'm guessing you, like, put points into whatever thing you want to upgrade from Fury, like her magic or whip or stuff like that. Although I do kind of hope that the ability progression system is at least somewhat similar to Darksiders 2, because I actually really like the skill tree from that. But I'm not sure. And it really didn't seem like the puzzles were that complicated. But yeah, this could have still been earlier in the game. Like, I'm pretty sure Sloth is still like the first boss, and we were going through that sort of area. But in addition to the subway area that we saw in the beta, there was also this other cavernous area that we have never seen before, and like, that was actually pretty cool. And then, like, there was a bunch of different stuff that you could have done with that. So like this is looking good, and I am excited for it. And we do finally have a release date. It's November 28th, 24th. It's somewhere late November, so it's not that far off. And I actually want to end this by going over the fact that, like a lot of AAA games nowadays, they're coming out with different collector's editions and like different versions of the game, and at least this is a game that a lot of people know about and are excited for, and will actually pay for the collector's editions for, because they actually do have some pretty cool stuff in it. They have like you have the basic standard edition of the game, which I'm probably gonna get. Then you have a couple of digital releases with some DLC thrown in, and a more expensive digital edition with both remastered Darksiders 1 and 2. But you also have the big collector's editions, and for that you actually have two of those. You have the standard collector's edition and the apocalyptic collector's edition. And the standard collector's edition has 10-inch Statue of Fury, an art book, soundtrack, and a couple other stuff. Like, it's a solid collector's edition. Like, it's a good, and it only costs like $100 bucks or something like that. I could be wrong, but it's around there. So that's a solid price for some pretty cool shit, and I think most people will go with that. But then you have the Apocalyptic Edition, which has all the stuff from the standard collector's edition, plus 10-inch figures of War, Death, and Volgrim. and a little fucking pendant with the Riders of the Apocalypse symbol on it. So, but that, and you got three other statues and a cool looking pendant. So how much do you think that's gonna be? Like $200, $250? It's $400 fucking dollars. It's $400 fucking dollars for 3 more statues. Like that is no. God, no. It's it is what it is. That's how fucking business works now. And at least you are getting some pretty cool shit for it. Like there are some collector's editions. Like there have been some collector's editions in the past. Didn't even have the fucking game in it, and the stuff they did give out was shit. So like, at least this is a good collector's edition because it actually has stuff you might want. Like yeah, I want a fucking Darksiders art book. I really think that would be cool. And so, like, yeah, there we go. Darksiders 3, still looking forward to it. Still looks great. Not sure if I'm ever actually going to be able to play it, but here we are. There was another game, another really big game that was announced in the past month or so that I didn't talk about, but I'm not sure if I had anything to say. It was the Spyro Reignited edition. Just like Crash had the Insane trilogy, it's the first 3 Spyro games completely remastered, and they have released some cool stuff for it. But like honestly, I didn't think there was a lot I could have actually said about that. I didn't really have a lot of exposure to Spyro growing up. I really only ever played the second game and the first of the Legend of Spyro games, so like there isn't as much nostalgia for Spyro as there was for Crash. So like, yeah, it's great, new Spyro, but it's not as much I could have been excited about. But if you guys want me to talk about the Spyro Reignited thing, I will. But just leave that in the comments below, and I'll see y'all later.